Hello YouTube! Thanks once again for joining me on the channel. I appreciate it. You're here with me in the garage today, and I want to do a quick recap of what's been going on with my regular job and the motor swaps. We've got a lot of stuff that's been happening, and several of the motor swaps, if you've been watching the channel, they're done and gone. Coyote swaps primarily. We've done quite a few of those, and now that we've got the Jersey truck done and gone, that thing is now doing burnouts in New Jersey. You've got the California truck, which was loaded and driven all the way back across country into Northern California, missing the fires, thankfully. And it too now is hauling lumber for my buddy that owns it, and he's having a great time with that truck. The one amazing truck called Blue 2, that is just one of my favorite builds that we've had the opportunity to work on. That now is back home with its owner in Oklahoma. And I wish I was there to see him unload it, because I know how I felt when it was leaving me. He had to feel the opposite times 20 when it was unloaded in front of him, because it's just a beautiful thing, and it turned out amazing. So with all those trucks gone and the motor swaps are done, the trucks are running and driving, we put hundreds of miles on all of them. Very happy with the way that came out. I want to talk to you a little bit about motor swaps. Not just Coyote swaps, Hemis, whatever you're into. I don't care if it's a turbocharged 4-cylinder, whatever it is. We all have to face the facts that eventually we're going to be doing electric motor kits. Actual battery-powered hot rods. You're seeing it at SEMA. You saw it years ago on Wheeler Dealers. Those guys, back when Ed China was on the show, they did a Maserati by Turbo. Right around the time I did my Lexus V8 Maserati, they did one that had an electric motor in it, and they adapted it to the regular gearbox. It was really cool. So the point is, be ready. We're all going to be around a long time. We've got a lot of cars to work on, and EV, that's happening. It's here. Electric vehicles, it's here. That's happening. So get used to it. They are now selling kits that fit in almost the same dimension of a small block Chevy. They literally fit in these hot rods, and you're able to adapt them to various transmissions, put a battery pack in the back. You know, when you chop and channel a truck, there's plenty of room back there to house all those batteries. So it's coming. Be ready, because here it is. It's no surprise that there are modern electrical advances to old school vehicles. I mean, take a look at the Dakota digital gauge pack that you can put in any old F100 or F250. They've been selling these kits for several years now, and they work like a charm. So it's just modern stuff, you know, coming together. We're in Massillon, Ohio today, and this is a collection of MR2 cars and parts that have been languishing behind this fence for years. I was going to take it on myself, but I'm too busy with Hemis and Coyotes. So our buddy here from Michigan, Mike, has agreed to take them all, and they worked out a deal, and this stuff is on its way to Michigan. So if you want to watch us try and load it all by hand, watch these guys, because I'm tired. it's not just about the speed. And of course there's a lack of sound, but what you do get is immense torque and instant on power. And the expandability of it all is just, it's growing by leaps and bounds. And for me, I posted on something that Car and Driver had written, and I said, you know, power is power. I don't care how you make it. And I don't. You know, the reality is if you really need an engine sound, you can rig something up to a tachometer that goes if that's what you're into. I love the sound of a V8, don't get me wrong, or a V12 Ferrari, and those things will always be timeless. But power is speed, speed is power, you know, let's go. I just want to get in and mat it and take the hell off. So I don't care how they arrive at these things. Imagine how it was for the guys back in the early days of hot rodding. You know, when a bigger engine came out, or a different way to power it, or a different gear set, they thought the world was melting. But you know, as time goes on, things improve, and look at what we have today, what you can buy in the dealer showrooms compared to what we had before. You know, this red truck probably made 80 horsepower if it was lucky. So it's a cool time to be involved in hot rodding, and I don't care how you power it. Speaking of Wheeler Dealers, when they did their electric car, that Maserati Biturbo, it wasn't startlingly fast, but it was also 10 years ago probably, I think, and you know, that vehicle was much better off because they saved it.
So cold-blooded.
Make it run, Captain.
Yeah. Need more ice cream.
More on that in a minute. I want to show you a couple of these images back from when we hauled the Jersey truck back from the Rabid Tuners, and I'll tell you more about them in a minute. But we had this Panamera and this Corvette that were at my buddy's house for a few days, and I know this was a Florida car because when we raced each other going down the road, I cracked the window and got a face full of sand. Perhaps some of you have heard the phrase, it's better to be a competitor for a day than a spectator for a lifetime, right? So for some of us, we learned that early on, and some of us, we learn it much later. For me, I learned it a lot later. To be a competitor, there's something special about it. And I was fortunate enough to be involved in several types of competition, motocross, I've raced some oval track, I've done a bit of drag racing, and you know, obviously bicycle stunt competitions and stuff like that. So competing wasn't always in my blood. I didn't learn it until someone believed in me and said, you know, you might be all right at that. So I tried it, and I wanted to read a quick excerpt out of this book, and I just want to give you a sense of what it's like to be a competitor sometimes. This is real quick. Racing, when it comes to motocross, the 30-year-old age groups are tough because they have experience and they still have a lot of that youthful exuberance. You'd be surprised how many guys will risk their lives for a plastic, fake golden marble trophy. I have an attic full of them, and every once in a while I still say, screw it, and I'll take a big risk because I want a big win. Like I need any more of those plastic gold things, right? They have no actual value themselves. The value is intrinsic. It's what they represent that makes a trophy valuable. They represent conquering fear, overcoming injuries, and confidence that lasts a lifetime. A victory is a victory, a win is a win, and you just can't buy that. You have to earn them. They're based on the total package at the time. Your state of mind, your experience, your determination, your natural ability to perform under pressure, and most of all, your courage. That's what makes winning valuable. The fake gold plastic thing, those are just reminders of the battle you fought. And you get to dust those off every once in a while. Okay. 33. It runs! I don't think it sounds too damn good though. That don't sound good. 3 on the tree, don't hit my vehicle. Oh, that truck is saying thank you. Look at that. Smooth as butter. Never mind the rod knock. That thing is freaking brilliant. We're gonna put an LS in it, or a Coyote. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do, but let's get in something. So why bring up competition? Well, competition in its purest form is something that we all have to face. We have to face competitions with ourselves, our spouses, our health, you know, your job, you name it. We all have battles to fight. And the one thing that's cool about YouTube and about cars, the thing that brings us all together, the thing that brought us here, that is kick-ass builds and kick-ass cars. Let's go outside and I'll introduce you to this van that just showed up. It just rolled off the trailer. Check this out. So what do you think of the old ice cream truck?
I think we're gonna quit YouTube and start an ice cream business.
Yeah, it probably pays more. And that's a topic for another time. I wanted to tell you more about this Rabid Tuner company that we took the Jersey truck to. They were building this. It is a 1400 horsepower F-150, and that's really cool. You'll see something like that at my place, but not anytime soon. This was a Field of Dreams with dreamlike vehicles. This Hoonigan-inspired Ford Fairlane that is V8, twin turbo, and all-wheel drive. It is a fantastic build. So let's go back to my garbage and we'll take a closer look. Of course I say garbage lovingly. This thing made over 550 horse when they were done with it, and we put several hundred miles on it. So upcoming on the channel, we're going to have the F-150 Illuminator build that's a 4x4, 600 horsepower fire-breathing monster. The goal of that is to spin all four tires on the pavement. And then we have the Metro van, which is basically a food truck that's going to be pulling a trailer that carries its water supply and its power source. So I'm very excited to get to that. I'm having a special buddy of mine come in, an engineer, he's an electrical engineer, and we're going to work on that together. It's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited to get going on it. Stay tuned to the channel. We've got a lot of awesome things happening. Big things are happening in the works. There's talk of sponsorship deals. Certain little ones have already happened. I'll let you know about those. Stay tuned. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share everywhere you see fit. I'll see you soon.